Hi, it's John and welcome to the channel 6:24 a.m. It is May the 20th. Great to have you along today. I've got my big blue mug of coffee, and if you're here and have subscribed, thanks so much. If you haven't, just click on subscribe and help me get to 32,000 subscribers. Pretty awesome. So, I don't want to go over the same ground again. And some people may say I'm going back to the well too often on this, but this is different. And I did not plan on doing this video this morning. I had something else in mind, but I'm here and I want to go through with this. And I think this needs to be shared. I'm frightened. I saw a picture this morning that frightened me. Here's the picture. And I need somebody to tell me when this picture was taken. Now, for those who don't know, this is Naheed Nenshi, former mayor of Calgary, current leader of the NDP in the Alberta legislature. The guy on the right, former Premier of Alberta, Jason Kenney, former Cabinet Minister for Stephen Harper. Two big names in Alberta politics, and they're shaking hands here. Again, I don't know when this picture was taken. It could have been taken any time, and I don't trust what I see on the internet. I have a mind. I don't need the government to tell me about misinformation and disinformation. Reagan said trust, then verify. I think you need to verify, then trust nowadays. Now, this was tweeted out yesterday on May the 19th. Took a bit of time, but it looks like they're getting the band back together, says Dusty Rose. Now, I tried to figure out whether this was recent by looking at their body mass index and the color of their hair. And just a bit of advice to these two gentlemen, start taking care of yourself. You're at the age where you're this far away from heart attack and stroke. You need to start taking care of yourself. I don't wish ill will on either of these gentlemen. I disagree with Kenney on independence. I disagreed with Nenshi on everything, but take care of yourself. I don't want to see anything happen to you. But I digress. So I see this picture, and even if this isn't a recent picture, you should be afraid of these two guys because they're both anti-independence. Obviously, Nenshi wants to use this against Danielle Smith, who's made it easier for separation, for a referendum. And he's using it and talking about it all the time. The NDP, they're tweeting things about Danielle Smith is a separatist. Jason Kenney came out. I did a video on this in early May. I'll put a link near the end so you can take a look at it. But he's been tweeting about this. Here's a tweet from early May where he talks about Alberta separatism and how we're a bunch of nuts. But these two gentlemen have big names in Alberta, big voices in Alberta, and recognizable faces in Alberta. And here I am again. There's no big face, and there's no big name, there's no big voice leading the independence movement in Alberta. Do we have some time? Yeah, but I don't see anything changing very soon. And we need somebody to represent this movement, or it's going to fail. I appreciate the different factions that are involved here, and I appreciate you if you're an Alberta separatist and you want independence for Alberta, but we need a leader. Let me just show you something. This is a Jason Kenney tweet from, what's the date on this one? The 18th. 2 days ago. Grifters and con artists. By definition, an independent Alberta equals no more Canadian citizenship, no more Canadian passport. Entitlement benefits like OAS, CPP would be subject to negotiation with Ottawa dictating terms. Turns out not even the Alberta independence movement is remotely serious about independence. And the little blue letters there lead you to this. It's been deleted by the Alberta Prosperity Project because they messed up. Because they don't have a plan. If you don't have a plan, the plan fails. Now they've come back to straighten things out. Clearly this struck a chord, so we fixed it. Take note of the disclaimer in white italics, but you put it out there, APP. And it got spread around the internet like wildfire. Albertans saw it and they're concerned. I remember these arguments during the referendum campaign in 95. I remember discussions about keeping the Canadian currency, being part of the Canada Pension Plan. All of these things came up, but there's nobody leading the way for independence in Alberta right now. Let's go back to the original picture. These guys are formidable. Who you've got now leading, there is no leader, the independence movement, they are not formidable. There's no communication, there's no public relations, there's no team. Is there an office? Are we raising funds to push this across the line at the end? No. These guys have all kinds of connections. And Mark Carney loves Naheed Nenshi because he thinks a lot like Mark Carney. Nenshi will say he's all for pipelines, but he's an anti-oil guy, just like all the people on the radical left. And that's what Mark Carney is. Mark Carney wants Naheed Nenshi as premier of this province. He wants Danielle Smith to go down because she's fighting back. And the federal government is going to do everything it can to scuttle the independence movement here in Alberta, and we've got no leader. These guys, can you imagine the head of the NDP of Alberta and the former conservative leader of Alberta, premier, standing together on a podium on behalf of Canada against the independence movement? Can you imagine if that happens? It could. And that's what scares me. Nothing glitzy today. Share this one if you liked it. But I'm bothered this morning. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed, please do that. Ring the bell for notifications. Like the video. That helps the channel in a big way. And I will see you in the next one.